Hello and welcome back. So glad you've tuned in today, and if you're here for the first time, welcome. So we are back on some more Prince Harry news, and I'm excited to bring this to you. We now have an update that Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, is in Rwanda as part of his conservation work with African parks. The British royal on Monday met with President Paul Kagame at Urugwiro village, with whom he held talks on the work they do in Rwanda. And we have a post by Presidency Rwanda on their Twitter, who posted and said, President Kagame received Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, who visited Rwanda as part of his work as President of African Parks. The government of Rwanda has agreements with African parks to manage Akagera and Nyungwe national parks. So that was the post on their Twitter, and they have that image there with Prince Harry standing side by side with President Kagame. And you can see them there. They have such a good rapport. By the way, it's not the first time for Prince Harry to meet up with President Kagame. He also had some time with him in 2018. So, there is that friendship there. So the article goes on to say, on the same morning, Prince Harry visited Kigali Genocide Memorial to pay his respects to the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. At Gizozi, Prince Harry laid a wreath on the mass graves where the remains of over 250,000 victims lay in rest. So there you can see Prince Harry in those images taking a minute to pause and to reflect and paying his respects once again to the victims of the genocide. And you can see that he is deep in thought. It reflects on his facial expression. He is really taking a minute to take it in. And it is in line, I think, with Prince Harry and his love for the continent. He has called it his second home. So it is noteworthy to see that he is very sensitive to whatever region in Africa he visits. He doesn't have this forgive me if I say this, but white savior mentality. He comes in to partner, he comes in and desires to learn and have an education about the various locations that he is visiting. So yeah, he said service is universal, and I think a lot of people are grateful even for this act of just taking the time to go and pay his respects and learn a lot more about Rwanda and their history and understand the complexities behind that history as well. So of course, very, very moving scene right there. So as I said before, Prince Harry, he is there on work as president of African Parks. He joined as president in December 2017 in a move that underscored his commitment to conservation. His appointment was made public in a statement years ago released by Kensington Palace. So for those of you who would like to know, African Parks is a conservation NGO founded in 2000 that manages national parks in protected areas on behalf of governments and in collaborations with local communities across Africa. With 13 parks under management, they have the largest area under conservation for any one NGO on the African continent. So they are a non-profit conservation organization, and they have been very responsible in not only management of these national parks, but rehabilitation as well. And as I said before, it's in partnership with governments and local communities. So they come in and it's a hand-in-hand effort, and we have seen the fruit so far. So as I said before, this has been a tour for Prince Harry as well, because he had been in Mozambique. And he was there once again in his role as president of African Parks, welcoming and co-hosting a group of U.S. officials, conservationists, and philanthropists to tour protected wildlife areas. And they learned about the conservation efforts at the Bazaruto Archipelago National Park, the first marine reserve to fall under African Parks management. All this, by the way, is ahead of his trip to UK and to Germany that is coming up in the next few weeks. So he is a busy prince. And I love the fact that, he said it before, service is universal. It's wonderful to see that he is so welcomed and loved. And as I pointed out before, he has this rapport already with a lot of these communities on the ground, not only, in the government positions, but on the local level, because as he goes in to work on these conservation efforts with African parks. He's not only dealing with those at the top tier of the structure of authority, but he is also on the ground working with those really on the grassroots ground level, getting a hands-on experience and learning, as I said before, about the local communities, learning about the parks, and learning and as well as trying their best to make some positive change and impact in those places. So it's great to see this. I'm so proud of Prince Harry. He has been so true to, this calling in his life. He has, by the way, visited Mozambique before. I don't think I'd mentioned this. He had made a visit to the country with the Halo Trust, once again in line with the landmine issues, and they had quite a bit of work there. So for him, this is something that is just in him. He is very committed and devoted to these communities, and not just going there to cut ribbons and having the cameras on you for a few minutes and ensuring that the cameras catch that moment, but actually being on the ground. And I do commend him for that. So I'm looking forward to seeing where Prince Harry goes next. Being a Kenyan, I hope that Kenya is somewhere on his list. We have quite a few national parks, so I know a lot of us feel the exact same way. Prince Harry, he is welcomed anywhere on the continent. It is his second home, and he and his family are welcomed anywhere on the continent. So leave your thoughts on this great news in the comment section on his work across the African continent. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. So before we log off, as always, a special thank you to those who support this channel, to my Patreon, PayPal, and membership supporters. I would like to say a heartfelt thank you. And I want to give a shout out right now to you, Rochelle Cherry. Thank you for your support and giving to this channel. It means so much. Thank you to Aminata Ja. I appreciate all your giving. Thank you so much for choosing to come along with me on this journey. And a special thank you right now to Corliss J. McClendon. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Once again, thank you to all who support this channel. And if you'd like to, there are links in the pinned comment and in the description bar. Once again, leave your thoughts on this below. Thank you to all who like, comment, and share. I love you all and have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.